That's where you do it. Hello, everyone. It's your boy Young Pug, and welcome back to the Crazy Cap Podcast. I'm joined here with my host Jaden. Say hello.
Hello.
And today's episode, we are going to be, what is it again?
I'm going to be trying to recite the Kingdom Hearts timeline. I'm going to be regurgitating it from memory to Pug, and Pug is going to ask me questions here or there to try to fill out the timeline. And the fun part about this is you get to interact by correcting me in the comments down below. So again, this is completely by memory, so I think it would be fun because it's funny because Kingdom Hearts is about memory sometimes.
Yeah. So let's get started. The first
Dubby,
game. Oh yeah.
Hey, if this video makes you tired, drink Dubby.
If you're in need of some caffeine during the month, consider checking out our sponsored energy drink W in the description below. And yeah,
use CAP21 for 10% off.
Use CAP21. Yeah.
So the first game to, and this will be in release order, kind of, give or take. The first game to ever release was Kingdom Hearts, and that was on the PlayStation 2. And this follows the story of Sora, but it's not the first game in the timeline, not by a long shot. It then was later re-released as Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. It was also on the PlayStation 2, and it was more like a definitive version. I believe the Final Mix is the only version that we got in the West, I think. I can't remember. But it's basically the definitive version, and that's the version that you play to this day, kind of, and we'll get to that. The next game would be Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, which is a Game Boy Advance game of all games. It's a top-down game, and it's a card game. Yeah, a card game. Not an RPG like the first one. Nope, I don't know why they did that. And then they remade it on PS2 called Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. And then I believe the final game in this small trilogy type deal was Kingdom Hearts 358 over, no, sorry, no, wrong. This was, no, it was 358 over 2 days. This follows the story of Roxas and basically his origin story before Kingdom Hearts 2, which we'll get to. This is a more standard in gameplay wise, but it was released on the DS, and it was more mission based. So best comparison I can give is Luigi's Mansion 2. That's pretty much this game. And then they re-released all of these under the label Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD remix, or some fucking stupid name. And
on the PS4,
on the PS3. On the PS3.
On the PS3.
Yes, and what it did is it brought all the games to HD, but 30 FPS. And it included Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, but only the cutscenes for Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. Again, this is all from memory. I'm not reading off of anything, so if I'm wrong, please correct me in the comment. But then we get into the Kingdom Hearts 2 saga. And Kingdom Hearts 2 starts with the story of Roxas, but ends continuing Sora's story. This picks up pretty much right after Chain of Memories. They also re-released this under Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. The next game that they released was Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. This was released on the PSP. And then they released a Final Mix version of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, not Rebirth by Sleep, none of that, on the PS2 as well. And then, of course, they remade it in HD. I'm sorry, I skipped a game. Kingdom Hearts Coded. Kingdom Hearts Coded is a game that doesn't actually happen, and I'll explain more when we get to it, but it's also a DS game. Well, okay. Kingdom Hearts Coded is a mobile game released on like a Nokia phone or something, and they remade it under the name Kingdom Hearts Recoded on the DS. And when they repackaged all of these games in the 2.5 HD remix, which includes Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix, and Kingdom Hearts Recoded Cutscenes, um, it was recoded cutscenes. And then it gets even fucking stupider because then we had the release of Kingdom Hearts Key. Yes, not Kingdom Hearts X, Kingdom Hearts Key. It's an X, it's spelled CHI. This is the very first
Hmm.
game in the timeline, even earlier than Birth by Sleep, and this game tells the story of the Keyblade War. But there's almost like four games in this game. There's Kingdom Hearts Key, which was released on PC as a web browser MMO. Then it was re-released as Kingdom Hearts uh, Unchained Key on mobile. Then they added an expansion called Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, and then they added another expansion called Union Cross Dark Road, which is the origin story of Xehanort, which is a very important character. But the reason why I mention this is because they had a third collection. This one was released on PS4. This one includes Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance. This is a game that was released on 3DS and was the Mark of Mastery exam for Sora. We'll get to that, I promise. It also included a brand new game, which was a demo using the same engine that would eventually be used in Kingdom Hearts 3, called Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep, A Fragmentary Passage. Yes. Welcome to the stupid fucking names. Um,
Hmm.
and then they made a special version of Kingdom Hearts Key, which is a story called Kingdom Hearts Key Back Cover, which is special cutscenes of parts of the game that I'm not sure if they're actually in the mobile game or not, but they're just fleshed out cutscenes in the Kingdom Hearts 3 engine. Um, so then those three games and two games and a cutscene was repackaged as Kingdom Hearts 2.8. Yeah. Uh,
2.8.
yeah. Which was released on PS4 because again it was testing the waters for the new Kingdom Hearts 3 engine. After that, they re-released Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5, and they called it Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5 HD Remix. And that was released on PS4. And finally, all the games are in 60 FPS. Eventually, they re-released all of the games, including Kingdom Hearts 3, it was on PS4. It got DLC called Remind instead of a Final Mix version, and all the entire Kingdom Hearts series was re-released twice. Okay, the first time was on PS4, and it was called The Story So Far, which includes Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5, 2.8, and 3, which I believe was two um two two cases, three discs. Then it was re-released again. Actually, I want to look up the name of this because it's stupid as fuck. And obviously, the Nintendo one is a streamed version, and the entire collection is officially called the Integra Masterpiece.
The Integra
Yeah.
masterpiece.
So remember when I said that the other games are called Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 Remix. And then 2.8 is called HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. Welcome to the Kingdom Hearts naming conventions. So let's begin with the beginning of the timeline. The beginning of the timeline starts with Kingdom Hearts Key. Yes, the web version. This pretty much tells the story of your own custom character going in the town of Daybreak Town, which officially known in canon as the Kingdom Hearts universe, right? It's speculated that there are other places in this world or in this universe, but Daybreak Town is essentially the center of it, and the reason why is because of basically Kingdom Hearts version of Jesus Christ. Okay, this guy is named the Master of Masters, and he's going to be very important to Kingdom Hearts 4. The Master of Masters is essentially Jesus. We don't really know who he is or what he is, but we know that he's a super flamboyant guy. One of the first introductions to the organization outfit. It's not Organization 13, but they are inspired off of him. And he has his disciples, just like Jesus had his disciples. And each of these disciples were essentially commanders of your custom characters. And so there's a couple of characters that are important. I don't remember the names of them because they haven't actually followed up with their storylines unless you played the mobile game. But the TLDR is that the Master of Masters created this prognosticus, right? This Bible essentially, and in that Bible, it essentially said that one of his disciples was going to betray the other disciples. And so the game is basically your character going to these future Disney worlds and stopping the outbreak of I think it's Heartless, I think. Um, and then the game gets shut down, and the game was re-released on mobile as Kingdom Hearts uh, Unchained Key. And in this,
So it was a
uh,
game that got shut down
yes,
and then get released. Hmm.
yeah. So Kingdom Hearts Key was the PC MMO that was on a web browser, and then it was re-released on mobile as Unchained Key. But it's canon. Why is it
Hmm.
canon? I don't remember the specific details, but essentially the universe gets reset at the end of the game, and it starts over in the mobile version. And so Unchained Key is the retelling of this story, and the Keyblade War technically hasn't happened yet. Um, and so again, this is where a lot of the timelines kind of can go over each other, but this is also where back cover is happening, because while your character is going off doing its own adventures, your own adventures, the disciples are figuring stuff out. But there's another character that I haven't mentioned yet, and this is the Master of Masters' right hand man. His name is Lushu. Um, he's not important yet until Kingdom Hearts 4 either, but put a pin in him. You'll want to remember him for later. He also has his own role. Each of the disciples have their own role, right? And so the reason why one is going to betray the other is because the Master of Masters gives them their roles and gives them pieces of the book and tells them don't share it with each other. And he's a very intellectual guy, but he also knows the entire Kingdom Hearts timeline. He's a very special individual. We don't know why yet. But Lushu is also someone who is very important, and he hands him this special keyblade. This special keyblade has an eye on it, and I can't remember the name of the keyblade. I'm sorry, um, but this eye basically can see through all of time, and it will become important later. So remember Lushu and remember him. So then we get into the first expansion of Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, called Union Cross, and this is basically a continuation of your character's journey, and essentially all of the disciples disappear, and you and a couple of other main characters become the next disciples. Um, and you basically just try to figure out what the fuck to do because you don't know what's going on. Um, and so again, we don't really know what the meaning of anything is, especially because no one really cares about the mobile game anyway. But it is important because then we get to Dark Road, and Dark Road is the origin story. It's also another expansion. It is the origin story of uh, Master Xehanort, or young Xehanort in this case, and it tells his story of where he comes from. Which actually, hold on, I think I'm getting ahead of myself. So, what do you think happens when the disciples end up betraying each other? What do you think happens?
Uh, Jesus smites them.
Nope. So he knew this was going
Nope.
to happen. He planned it. He wanted this to happen.
He planned it.
Yes. Again, we'll learn more in Kingdom Hearts 4. I don't know, but their job was to keep the Heartless at bay, right? Once one betrays the other, which again I don't know like how exactly it plays out, it causes something called the Keyblade War. The Keyblade War basically wipes out the entire universe, okay, and splits it into multiple worlds. That's why we have, well, why we have Disney worlds essentially is because this Keyblade War happens, and basically the resetting again of the universe happens, and all of the worlds, all of what was in this original world splits into a bunch of different worlds, right? And so your
Mm.
character is exploring future Disney worlds in the future. You're not exploring the worlds that exist now because they don't exist in your world. Um, so you're experiencing Disney worlds that won't come to exist until after the Keyblade War. So then, uh, Daybreak Town, after the Keyblade World, turns into two different versions of itself. The first version of itself is Scala Ed Column, where Xehanort, Master Ericus and Master Xehanort are effectively born. And the reason why we know that it's Daybreak Town is because there is a central spire tower, clock tower, that is present in both. The other version of it is the Keyblade Graveyard, and that's where all of the MMO characters die during the Great Keyblade War. Um,
Mm.
so now we get into uh, Master Xehanort's story, which again, his story in Dark Road is not really that important. It's for those that are like super fans and that want to know about like basically why he turns evil. But he grows up with Master Ericus, and Ericus is backwards for Square Enix. Um, and they grow up and they also have to take the Mark of Mastery museum exam, and that's how they become Keyblade warriors themselves, Keyblade masters. So that's pretty much the story of that and how he basically becomes evil. And I
Mm.
believe this version of him is young Xehanort, which uh, interacts with an older version of himself who's effectively dying, and basically tells him to time travel. It's stupid, I know. Um,
Mm.
so then we get into Birth by Sleep, at least directly into Birth by Sleep, where we have Master Ericus and Master Xehanort working together to raise the next generation of Keyblade warriors. And these characters are Aqua, Terra, and Roxas, Ventus. Okay, Earth, water, and I don't know what Ventus means, but you get the idea. Um,
Mm.
and so they go and they have their each have their own Mark of Mastery exam, which has them exploring Disney worlds to discover themselves, pretty much. And what happens is that unfortunately, um, Xehanort has already conducted his plan. At this point, both Xehanort and Ericus are old, extremely old, um, and so Xehanort has already enacted his plan and uh, brought Ventus to Ericus to raise him essentially, and he is very important. And he used him as a vessel of sorts and extracted all of the darkness out of his heart. And again, it is very seldom explained why this happens, but all of the darkness was sucked out of his heart. And in order to have a heart, you have to have a good balance of light and dark. Um,
Mm.
Sucked all the darkness out of his heart, and this becomes a character named Vanitas. And weirdly enough, Vanitas looks like a character that we all know and love, Sora. And this will become important later. He looks like Sora. Um, and so, anyway,
Sora's
Ventus,
evil twin.
basically, Ventus is really sick, and he's, trying to find himself too. And Aqua is trying to help Ventus, and Terra is going off on his own thing because he's a big-headed oaf, and eventually he sides with Xehanort, and Xehanort ends up, because he's old, ends up using Terra's body and uh, puts his heart inside of Terra's body, and he is now what is known as Terranort. And uh, Xehanort is taking control of his body, but then Terranort has this sort of like stand-like creature, and I'm pretty sure it's inspired off of JoJo's, who is a heartless of Terra, because now where the fuck is Terra's heart gonna go? He becomes a heartless, but he's still attached to his body. It's a very specific case of this happening. And Aqua, in her ways of trying to save both, um, end up uh, getting lost in the world, in the realm of dark. Which there's the realm of light, which is where all the Disney worlds are, and the Kingdom Hearts exclusive worlds, and then there's the realm of dark. And she ends up failing. They all end up failing, and she ends up going into the world of dark. And Ventus,
No.
because because Xehanort succeeds, Ventus is now an empty shell. So how does this happen, right? So on their adventures, they go to this place called um it's in Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2. I forgot. It's the name of the Smash Bros stage. You're allowed to remind me. I just can't look it up.
I don't
Um
remember.
it's a very important place, and this is a very very important place because all of the characters end up exploring this place during the events of Birth by Sleep, and we find out that Aqua ends up having an interaction with Kyrie. Kyrie is a young girl who is found on this world, and I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. Um,
Hollow Bastion.
Hollow Bastion. Um, yes, and I don't think it was called Hollow Bastion at the time, but that's the world. So she's effectively the princess of light of that world, and she has an interaction with Aqua, and she touches her Keyblade, which allows her to wield her own Keyblade. Um, and when Terra is exploring, he ends up finding himself on Destiny Island, and he interacts with Riku, and that's why Riku ends up going down the path that he does. Then, of course, I don't know if Ventus actually meets a younger version of Sora, because I'm pretty sure that Sora ends up touching Terra's Keyblade as well, which we'll get into and why that's important.
Hmm.
But we find in the early parts of the game where Ventus is an empty husk, um, that Ventus finds a strong body to place his heart in, and that ends up being Sora. And so by the end of the game, Ventus's heart is in Sora as a kid, and Ventus's lifeless body ends up in um, it's in a castle. So the world that they come from basically um, dies or something, and it becomes the main setting for Chain of Memories, and Aqua puts him there because, again, I'm pretty sure this is in the world of Dark, um, to rest until they're able to save him. Okay, so the world that they come from basically gets consumed by darkness, just like a heart would. She leaves him in a secret room in that castle, Castle Oblivion, and he's a lifeless husk now because he's not. He didn't die, right? He just placed his
Went his heart into
yeah.
Sora.
He placed his broken heart, because half of it is in fucking Vanitas, um, into Sora, and so now we got Aqua lost in the world of dark. We got Terra Norded, and we got Ventus as a broken husk. Are you ready? We finally reached Kingdom Hearts 1! Woo! So, Kingdom Hearts 1 starts with the story of Sora and Riku. And we find out that Kairi has lost her memories and that she is also on Destiny Islands. And what is Destiny Islands? Well, a lot of people, if they find themselves lost, end up finding uh, arriving on Destiny Islands for some unknown reason, and it's Destiny Islands in Traverse Town for some reason. I don't know why. Um, and Kairi isn't from there, but Sora and Riku are, and so we start Kingdom Hearts 1, where Sora and Riku are trying to find a way to explore other worlds because they don't want to be stuck on the Destiny Islands, and Kairi's with them, and all of a sudden, like, shit starts going down. Well, it's because their world's starting to become consumed by darkness. And so Riku apparently caused all of this because he started tapping into the darkness, and that was because he was being manipulated by a hooded figure, and this hooded figure, come to find out, older is old Xehanort. Um, and so he's like, Sora, I need you to join me in the darkness because it's the only way that we're gonna get out of here. And he's like, no, fuck you. And so
No.
you're stupid. And so he ends up, if you basically, if you find yourself lost, you're in Destiny Islands. And I'm not really sure how Kyrie got there, but um, if your world gets consumed by darkness, either you die or you go to Traverse Town. And so then Sora wakes up in Traverse Town. So he meets Goofy and Donald and Pluto because Mickey is going on his own adventure right now. And that is finding Aqua. And so, during the events of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep 0.2, a fragmentary passage, Aqua is trying to find a way out of the realm of dark. And she can't, and Mickey is the one that's trying to help her. And so this is happening simultaneously at the same time as Kingdom Hearts 1. So Sora ends up meeting Donald and Goofy. Donald and Goofy are looking for King Mickey, and Sora's looking for Riku and Kairi. So over the course of their adventure, they go explore many Disney worlds, and eventually they find themselves in Hollow Bastion, where um, the villain is Maleficent. Or like, wait, what the fuck? Where's Xehanort? Well, Maleficent was actually the initial villain that was supposed to be the villain of the Kingdom Hearts series because again, it's part Disney, right? And so
Mm.
she and a bunch of the other Disney villains were, in their respective worlds trying to find the princesses of light of their world. One of them is Kairi. And so they basically are trying to basically um, control the power of darkness and become all powerful, right? And so they need to open the door to the end of the world, and in order to do so, they manipulate a young Riku who's already being manipulated by Xehanort, so it doesn't even matter. Um, and so they eventually get to the end of the world, and Sora, of course, beats them, but that's way before the awakening of a character named um, An- Ansem exists. But who's Ansem, might you ask? Let me
Who's
tell you
handsome?
who's Ansem. So there's this character named Ansem the Wise who is back at Hollow Bastion before it was called Hollow Bastion, right? And he was a scientist that was researching the Heartless, where they come from, and why they exist. Um, and by the way, in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, you don't fight Heartless, you fight Unversed, and Unversed are controlled by Vanitas. So there's this little tidbit there. Um, so he's researching the Heartless and the worlds, and he also wants to explore other worlds, and the only way to explore other worlds is through Gummy. And so this is Ansem the Wise. Or sorry, this is yeah, Ansem the Wise, and he's a scientist and he has a bunch of disciples, right? Are all like under him, not disciples, but like other researchers under him, and these are Lee. I don't remember their like original names, but it's a bunch of characters with kooky anime hair, and they become important later. One of those was someone named Xehanort, and he went under this name Xehanort, even though he was possessing Terra's body. Eventually, he ends up killing Ansem the Wise and replacing him and calling himself Ansem. And so eventually Ansem the Wise gets lost and he becomes the new Ansem. And eventually he also takes up the opportunity to do the research and he gets himself killed in the process, which is crazy because the whole reason he went to Terra was to stay alive, but he ended up dying. And what happens when you die in Kingdom Hearts? Well, you get
You
split.
either
Go ahead.
you either go to the tavern or you go to the Shadow Realm.
No. So, Traverse Town is for people who are still alive. When you die,
Oh,
you turn into a heartless, which is your, which is, um, which is your heart, which is weird, and your body, your lifeless body, turns into a nobody. Okay, so Ansem Xehanort dies, becomes a heartless, and is resurrected through Riku during the events of Kingdom Hearts 1. And so you fight Riku, and you realize he's being controlled by Ansem, and Ansem is a heartless. And so the true final boss of Kingdom Hearts 1 is Ansem. So what happens at the very end? Well, Donald and Goofy find. The final boss takes place in the world of Dark because what Maleficent was looking for was what she thought was Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is this door. Well, the door is actually the door to darkness, or the door to light, as Sora says. And so, in order to save the day, Riku has to unfortunately be on the other side of the door. And so, both Riku and Sora close the door and are parted once again. And we see that we know that Riku is going to be safe because he's with Mickey. And we find Mickey is there, and that's how it leads into fragmentary passage, right? Because it happens at the same time. Um, and so then Kyrie gets sent back to Destiny Islands, and Sora is then left to wander the world of darkness as well. And he ends up finding his way out through Castle Oblivion, which is Chain of Memories. So, Chain of Memories is a two-sided game where you play as both Riku and Sora. Unfortunately, it traces over the steps of Kingdom Hearts 1. But why? It's because this new uh, organization called Organization 13, with a bunch of hooded figures, uh, were using this building to do research on a character named Namine. Who is Namine? Well, let's travel back to Hollow Bastion for a second. Sora actually loses technically to Riku, and basically at the very beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1, when Kairi was lost, obviously Maleficent was looking for her, but is because Kairi was within Sora, which means there was three motherfuckers in Sora. But Kairi actually died. Kairi died. Um, and so her heart was transferred to Sora, and her nobody is Namine. And so, uh, Namine is a witch, and she has special abilities because her original person is a important person, and she was a princess of heart. And so when Sora dies, yes, Sora dies at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, he gets turned into a heartless, and Kairi regains her true form. And so then obviously Kairi realizes it's Sora and brings him back to life, but that means that Kairi has a nobody, and Sora has a nobody. And so, because of Ansem Xehanort stupid shenanigans, he has caused his entire team to die. And his entire team dies and becomes nobodies. And these nobodies form the Organization 13. And who is the leader of said organization?
Who's the leader?
Zemnis. Zemnis
Semnus.
is the nobody of Ansem Xehanort. Okay, so they find Castle Oblivion. They're more than likely looking for answers about Kingdom Hearts, and they're looking for answers about Ventus, right? And so they use Namine and Sora and Riku, and they basically wipe Sora's memories. And because Sora is such a powerful and friendly character, he ends up allowing Namine to turn a new leaf, and he also kind of speaks a word of truth into some of the organization members as well. And there's a reason why, and we'll get into that in a minute. But basically, you get to the end of Castle Oblivion, and Sora loses his memories. That's why it's called Chain of Memories. And it's also why you retread through all of the Kingdom Hearts 1 worlds. And so, in order to regain his memories, Sora has to stay in an isolation chamber until Kingdom Hearts 2. So, while all of this is happening, um, Kingdom Hearts 358 is happening, which I think it happens about the same time. There's a little bit of crossover there. And of course, when Sora dies, he becomes a heartless and a nobody. This nobody is named Roxas. And Roxas's story begins with Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. And so one day, while doing their research for Kingdom Hearts, um, they bring home a body. And this body is Xion. And Xion, I'm still not 100% sure what Xion is, because Xion is the 14th member of Organization 13, and she is a. Because Namine is Kyrie's nobody, but Xion is also Kyrie's nobody, but also Sora's nobody. I think the reason why she was created was because Kyrie was in Sora's heart, and it kind of confused everything, and also having Ventus in there a little bit too. Well, if you look at Roxas, he looks a little bit like Ventus. And so Vanitas looks like Sora, and Roxas looks like Vanitas. And so he's a part of this organization with all of these other nobodies, and he gets his name by shuffling around the names of the letters of his somebody and adding an X, and this X is key, and it's very important because if you ever see a character with an X anywhere, they are usually safe from darkness. Riku is the exception for some goddamn. Well, he didn't get consumed by darkness. He beat it in the end, but he was still manipulated. But anytime you see an X, very important. Um, so Riku goes on this adventure, and he, instead of losing his memories, he ends up getting split into two different individuals. Young Riku, which is Ansem, Ansem Riku, and Riku, which is like a saved Riku, like he's moving forward from his darkness, right? Super fucking weird. I don't get it either. And during the events of 358 over 2 days, basically Roxas is just going on missions every day, and because he's a little bit of Sora, he realizes that this shit really ain't going down right. Like, he realizes he's on the wrong side. And so every day he goes to work, and then he comes home and he shares sea salt ice cream with his buddies Axel and Xion. And they end up forming a bond. And so by the end of 358 over 2 days, because Xion wasn't really meant to exist, she ends up disappearing, and it destroys Roxas, and Roxas is fucking done. And obviously Axel cares for Roxas, and he ends up turning over a new leaf, but we don't really know that until like the end of Kingdom Hearts 2. Um, And so we see Axel very little during the events of Chain of Memories because he's always with with Roxas most of the time. Um, and so 358 over 2 days is really the story of Roxas and Shion. And we call them the Twilight Town Trio. We call Riku, Sora, and Kairi the Destiny Island Trio. And then I don't know what we call the Birth by Sleep Trio, but you understand now that there's these three groups of characters that all share a bond together, and friendship and bonds are very important. So now we finally get into Kingdom Hearts 2. And Kingdom Hearts 2 uh, essentially starts with Roxas. And this is the first time that we actually meet Roxas from our perspective. And Roxas is this kid that lives in Twilight Town, and he has a bunch of friends, and he goes to school, but it's summer break. And so he's having a good time with his buddies, but then he realized something ain't right. Like, things are weird here in Twilight Town. And come to find out, he wasn't really in Twilight Town. He was in a digital version of Twilight Town, created by this person named Diz. Now, who's Diz?
Who's Diz?
Ansem the Wise. And so
What?
Roxas, Ansem the Wise is alive, and he was experimenting on Roxas because he knew that Roxas was very special because obviously he worked for the organization, but you know. Now, I can't remember exactly if this version of Roxas is a digital version of Roxas or if Roxas was like uploaded to this digital world. Because at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix, you get a special cutscene where Roxas and Riku are sparring. And Riku's obviously like, "Who the fuck are you? You look like Sora." And Roxas is like, "You don't need to know that." And he becomes this like fucking edge lord. So I think Roxas just becomes lost after this because he's pissed about Shion, he's pissed about Axel, and he's pissed about who he really is because he's a nobody. He doesn't he's Sora, right? He's this empty husk version of Sora. So he's like trying to find himself because like who the fuck is he? Well, again, he's a very special character, and so Diz was kind of experimenting on him to see what he would do. And of course, guess who's the person that breaks him out of the simulation? His best friend Axel. So, um, at the end of the beginning Twilight Town section, you end up discovering that Sora was recouping his memories, and so then Roxas then sheds a tear, realizes that Sora needs to be the one, and lets him come to term. He comes to terms, and Sora can then continue his adventure. So then he discovers this character named Yensid. You want to spell Yensid backwards?
Yensid?
Yeah. Yensid. Disney.
Disney. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah. So Yensid is essentially Sora's Master Ericus. And so he goes throughout the adventure of Kingdom Hearts, finally finish or fighting off all the organization members, going through all the Disney worlds to stop the organization, right? And the organization, I just want you to guess what the organization is trying to do. All these experiments for what?
The I guess trying to find the Kingdom Heart.
Kingdom
I
Hearts.
don't. Yeah.
So, Ansem, no, sorry, uh, Heartless Ansem thought the door to darkness was Kingdom Hearts. It wasn't. Uh, Z- Mansex Zemnis thought that the Kingdom Hearts was the thing that was forming above them after they killed a bunch of Heartless, which it was, but not exactly. It was also kind of a false Kingdom Hearts as well. And so, of course, Riku's back. He's chasing after this Roxas individual. Sora's going after the organization to finally stop them for good. And at the end of the game, they do so. But unfortunately, what that means is that Roxas and Naminé can no longer exist. And so, oh yes, I'm sorry. They were trying to form Kingdom Hearts so that they can become real people instead of being heartless, right? Or sorry, nobodies. I apologize. And so you're already bored.
No, I'm just looking up some of these people because I don't
Yeah,
know what half of these people look like.
yeah. So that's pretty much it. Then at the very end of Kingdom Hearts 2, you get a special cutscene where you get this message from King Mickey, and King Mickey essentially was doing experiments of his own, and
And Mickey,
during the events of Chain of Memories, uh, 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 Sora lost all of his memories, but for some reason, Jiminy Cricket's notebook with all of the adventures logged in his notebook also disappeared. And apparently, the book is so magical that it's also digital. And because of some crazy bullshit, they found themselves in a digital version of Disney Castle where they have to send a digital version of Sora to delete all of the viruses so that they can know what was written in the book. And so, all that to basically find out, Xehanort is actually the real bad guy. Uh-oh.
what?
So the
No way.
message in the bottle that they sent to Sora was just to warn him. And so then we start Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance is basically Pokemon, The World Ends With You, and um, Kingdom Hearts. And so in this game, you are. So this game is basically Sora's Birth by Sleep. He is working with Master Yen Sid to get his Mark of Mastery exam done. And in order to do so, he has to save a bunch of sleeping worlds. And so he goes to these sleeping worlds and tries to save them essentially. And over the course of the adventure, he keeps running into this weird, kind of mildly attractive twink with tan skin and white hair. I wonder who this guy is. Um, turns out that it's fucking Xehanort from the past. Yeah.
Leonor from the
And
past.
so, old man Xehanort travels back in time to tell his younger self to travel forward in time to be a part of his new organization. And so he fucks around with Sora to make this happen. And so Sora gets a little bit of darkness in him and he fails his Mark of Mastery exam. And guess who passes? Riku.
Riku.
So Riku's now a master, Keyblade master, but Sora is not. And it ends on kind of a sour note, but it leads right into Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 is the creation of the new organization to finally complete the real Kingdom Hearts that Xehanort has been trying to do since Dark Road. Since Dark Road. He was alive since the beginning of fucking time. This old fucking coot has been alive since the beginning of fucking time. He was there with your fucking main character, your OC, and now he's alive to this day. So, this new Organization 13 includes a couple of the old organization members now with yellow eyes because they've been Norded and are injected with Xehanort's fucking bullshit. Old Man Xehanort, Zemnis, also time traveled, Ansem, the Heartless, also time traveled, young Xehanort, uh, Terranort, yes, his original possessed body, and evil Riku from fucking the first game. And so there's all these bullshit characters come back for exclusively fan service reasons, and they come back just to fulfill Xehanort's master plan that he's been building up to since the beginning. And he wants to create Kingdom Hearts so that he can effectively recreate the universe in his image, essentially. And in this version, he wants to have a balance of light and dark where um Sora is fighting for purely light, but Xehanort knows that you need a little bit of darkness in order to succeed. And that's why people are like, is he really? I mean, he's a kind of like a comically evil bad guy, but like he's just, he's like he's what he's doing is just kind of, you know. So all of this is happening, right? But Sora has a second goal in mind. He also wants to resurrect Roxas, Ventus. Oh, sorry, also Vanitas. I forgot about Vanitas. He's also part of the organization. Forgot about that. Uh, he wants to somehow resurrect Roxas, Namine, Shion, and Ventus all at the same time. And so, at the beginning of the game, you finally complete your Mark of Mastery exam. During the course of the game, you fight the organization members and figure out what the fuck's going on. And then all this bullshit happens at the same time. Kingdom Hearts is formed. Uh, the organization is formed. You start saving all these characters, and then you can actually play as them and fight against the organization together Lee, which is his person, was Axel, and Kyrie.
Hey.
And then I don't even understand what happens in Kingdom Hearts Remind because apparently it wouldn't have happened if Sora didn't travel back in time and help his past self, which I don't even understand. The entire existence of Remind is to fully explain what bullshit happened at the end of the game because they couldn't explain it very well. And so I'm not even going to explain it very well. And it doesn't even end there because guess what?
What?
Remember this whole time that I said that people can't die because they turn into a heartless and then they can come back together with their nobody?
Yeah.
Sora actually fucking dies.
What?
Sora is dead, deceased. He's in a version of. He is basically Goku. He went to their version of heaven. Full dead. Full stop. But the funny part is that his nobody's alive. Ventus is alive. And Shion's alive, which, what the fuck is Shion? No one knows what the fuck Shion is. Uh, she's basically like missing number, basically. So everyone's alive, including Kyrie, who's working on her own Mark of Mastery exam. God damn it, Mark of Mastery exam to become her own Keyblade Master. And motherfucker's dead, bro. He's actually dead. And so he actually dies twice. He dies during the events of the final battle, and then dies again in order to save everybody. It's dumb. Again, that's the whole reason Remind exists. So there's also, remember Kingdom Hearts Key? Well, in order to unlock Kingdom Hearts, you need the Keyblade. The Keyblade. Which
The Keyblade.
is created at the Keyblade Graveyard. So, cool, ironic thing is that every single person that was playing the MMO had their names listed during the final battle because Sora rides all of their Keyblades into battle. Fucking sick. But yeah, the final battle against Old Man Xehanort takes place at Scala ad Kalam, where the story first began, and it ends with Sora dying. And so this gets into Kingdom Hearts 4. Kingdom Hearts 4 is not out yet, but we can speculate that he is in the Kingdom Hearts version of Heaven, which we can only speculate is the real world. Our world. The reason why people believe this is because during the trailer, he is in Shibuya. And the reason why this is important is because of the World Ends With You characters who were sleeping during the events of Dream Drop Distance. But where are they from? They're from Shibuya. And then, during the events of Kingdom Hearts 3, there's this new toy in the Toy Story world that is a character named Verum Rex, which is Nomura's version of what Final Fantasy 13 was supposed to be. And Verum Rex is going to be an important character in Kingdom Hearts 4 because he is a secret super boss in Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, and that battle takes place in Shibuya. And Bro lives in Shibuya. So in the Toy Story world, he is a fictional character, right? But in
Yeah.
our world, Toy Story is a fictional world. So that's the mindset people are having, that Sora wakes up in the real world. Now, there's also another character, if you've seen the trailer. It's a short blonde girl, or ginger girl, and her name is uh, Strelitzia. Strelitzia is also dead. But when did she die? All the way back in Kingdom Hearts Key. She is the sister to Marluxia. Marluxia died during the Keyblade War and became a nobody and somehow joined the organization. I don't know. But Strelitzia actually died. And she and Sora are the only two characters that we know so far that are actually dead. Now, there's another character, and I'm going to look up his name because I think he's fucking awesome. Zigbar. I don't even have to look it up. Zigbar. Zigbar is another member of the original organization with Xemnas, right? With Marluxia. Um, and do you want to know who his somebody is? I think you already know where I'm going with this.
Kinda.
Who is it?
I don't know.
So Zigbar, you would think, is a very unimportant character. Even his somebody is kind of unimportant during the events of Birth by Sleep. But he's one of my favorites because he's like as if, and he has an eye patch and shit. But like you just think that he's just another organization member. Well, he's actually Lushu. So he's been around since the
Who's
beginning as well. And so the big question is, who is the Master of Masters? Why is Lushu important? And oh yeah, by the way, Maleficent didn't die at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1. You know where she went?
where?
She went back in time. She went back in time to find the box that Lushu was supposed to be protecting. And so during the thing that made the mobile version of Kingdom Hearts Key different is that you saw cutscenes of Maleficent looking for Lushu's box. And so Kingdom Hearts 4 is supposed to set up the Master Master saga, which is he is basically the new Xehanort, right? Why is Lucio important? Why is Marluxia important? Why is Strelitzia important? And how does the early times of the Kingdom Hearts world set up Kingdom Hearts 4? Well, we were supposed to set all that up with the other mobile game, Missing Link, but it got canceled. So Kingdom Hearts 4 has a lot of stuff riding on it. So, any questions? So
No,
the
Sora's in the real world. He's in
yeah.
Shibuya right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, okay, so here's why it's interesting to do this from memory, because I'm pretty sure I got like 90% of this right. Because it's very hard to explain the timeline in a logical order, because it's really about the character stories. You have to follow each character story in the timeline rather than game by game, because so much stuff happens in each game. For example, obviously, Kingdom Hearts Key is his own fucking beast, which includes back cover. Birth by Sleep is three different stories that happen all at the same time. Um, Kingdom Hearts 1, um, or Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories happens at the same time as 358, kind of. Um, and, um, what was I going to say? Oh, a Fragmentary Passage happens pretty much at the same time as Kingdom Hearts 1. And again, Chain of Memories also has two storylines going on, and so it's easier to kind of tell the story from each character's perspective instead of like the game, like each game. It's very weird because again, Roxas is off doing his own bullshit during the events from, Chain of Memories and 358 up until Kingdom Hearts 2. How the fuck did he end up in the digital world? Because he was fucking around with Riku, you know? Like, all this shit was happening, like, all at the same time. And so it's interesting to try to tell the story from that perspective. Anyway, anything else?
Mm.
Anything that you're confused about?
So a lot of the characters that are in like Kingdom Hearts 3, like a bunch of the like from the past characters in the in the organization. How are they there? Like they came from the past and all that.
No,
So when is that?
so Marluxia, Marluxia, Zigbar, uh, young Xehanort. Xehanort is the only one that's time traveled. Um,
Xehanort's the only one that's time traveled.
yeah, so young Xehanort and old man Xehanort pulled all these characters to here. But the other organization members that fill out the rest of them that are from the original organization, like Xemnas's organization, are um are some of them are the lab coats that worked with Ansem the Wise and Hollow Bastion. Um and some of them are from the beginning of time. But they died, became nobodies, and then formed the organization. And so they've just been alive this whole time because they're nobodies. They don't die because they're nobodies, right? So they're the ones
Mm-hmm.
that are able to last this long. And so Xehanort, old man Xehanort, and young Xehanort are the only ones that have time traveled. And then they picked like young Riku, Terranort. You know, they picked them up from their timelines before they die, and then they die anyway. Well, Xemnas or Ansem, see, there's Terranort splits into Ansem and Xemnas, So yeah, so unfortunately, people don't like Kingdom Hearts 3 for that reason. It's like there was a lot of like it kind of felt rushed at the end, and it was trying to wrap up all of these different storylines all at the same time, and
That's a
all
lot.
like not just over the course of the whole game, all at the fucking end.
That kind of makes sense why they would make another game explaining how stuff went down.
Yeah. It was the
Hmm.
remind, and it kind of fleshed it out a little bit, but I thought it was dumb because it was literally like Sora fucking mind hopping. It's fucking stupid. And then it's called a remind. Like, let me remind you what happened during the end, and let me explain it a little bit better.
Oh, let me tell you what happened at the end a little bit clearer.
Yeah.
This story, this story, this story, this story. That's it. Thank you for playing the game.
Now, why is Roxas my favorite character? Well, it's really a toss up between Ventus and Roxas, and it's because Roxas is a lot of people's favorite because he gets more character than even Sora does. Because Sora's like this happy go lucky motherfucker, and Roxas like has to fucking deal with the fact that he's fucking Sora's nobody. Like, what the fuck, you know? Like, imagine if you were like you were just a shell of somebody else, and like obviously like the normal nobody enemies are nothing but that, they're shells. But because these characters are important and they're powerful and they're special, they become their own people. It's weird. It's a very specific case because again, only like Kyrie and Sora have special nobodies, whereas like and Xehanort, whereas everybody else that's a nobody in the organization is just their original self. Like, okay. Literally, they just have
Crazy.
main character syndrome. But again, it leads to Roxas being kind of interesting, right?
Hmm.
Like, having to deal with that struggle and then running into Riku, you know? Like, there's so much aura in that final fight against Sora and Roxas where Roxas is just like, what the fuck, man? Like, are you me? Like,
Are you
like it's
me or am I you?
yeah, like
Are you me
if you understand like the
or am I
context,
me?
it's just super powerful and it's interesting in my opinion. But
Another question. When is Kingdom Hearts 4 coming out?
never, I guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
I guess the story
Notice how
ends.
Square wasn't present at neither the partner showcase or uh, the PlayStation Direct. So who knows what Square is doing right now? Usually Square is very prominent at both at Nintendo Directs and and State of Play is very very prominent. Like they have multiple games. They have like little small games. They got Final Fantasy. They got like they haven't even talked about Dragon Quest Seven Reimagined. They it came out and I'm like no one talked about it afterwards. So and I mean
Like,
who kn-
okay, we got all the small stuff out. We're gonna be working on Kingdom Hearts 4, so you guys get ready.
like I know that like they're doing a lot of restructuring right now, but they're working on multiple projects. They have uh, Dragon Quest 12, Final Fantasy 7 Remake 3, the final one, Kingdom Hearts 4, and Final Fantasy 17. They're
Final
working on
Fantasy
all those games at the
17.
same time. Plus, you know damn well they're working on a bunch of small games. Like there was rumors about Chrono Trigger being HD remaster or HD 2D. So
Lovely. They might say something at the Summerfest, maybe.
I don't know. I again, that's why it's been just so disappointing is because nobody out here doing making moves except for fucking Konami of all people.
Konami, they got 2026 in the bag.
Anyways,
Like they
and Capcom.
Nintendo ain't doing shit. Fucking fucking who else? Who else? Who else? I can't think of anybody else
Sony
but
didn't really
Nintendo.
show much except for God of War, but we don't even know when that's coming.
Yeah, we're gonna get God of War in like 2 years or some shit
Yeah. Anything
remake, and
else
then we're
Kingdom
gonna get
Hearts?
the new. Last question. Last question. We gonna upload that Kingdom Hearts Let's Play, bro.
What Let's Play?
We know you've been cooking on one secretly in the
I
background.
started streaming that shit 2 years ago, and I didn't finish it because I kept platform hopping. The first time I streamed it was on my fucking laptop and Xbox. I no longer have that Xbox anymore. And then I bought it on PC. Uh, and then I don't know what happened after that. But I got far with one version that I bought. And then I got it on PlayStation and had to start over again. And I just never went back because I had to replay up until that point. And actually, I was having Joe do it because he wanted to play it. And I was like letting him play up until that point. He never finished it either.
Damn, we need to get that playthrough going, and you explaining what the story is while you're playing it as you
Yeah.
play it. Yeah,
I'm not doing a Let's Play, bro. You can watch
why
Chugga's Let's
not?
Play or Nico B's Let's Play. I've never
Damn,
played any of the games.
you know everything about
Yeah,
them
I
though.
know. I played Kingdom Hearts 1 the and that's it. That's it. And I didn't finish it.
Oh my god, you knew so much about Kingdom Hearts. You must have played all the
It's
games.
so funny cuz it's just this series means so much to me, and it also came out the same year that I was born. And so every anniversary year is also coincidentally, if they're 24 or 25, it's like, oh, I'm also 25. So it's special to me. When I first got the game, I have a couple of fun memories. I look back, not fond, but like because I was fucking shit scared shitless of Dark Side, but like it just the series like there was one time where I was like, what is this fucking game from my childhood? I don't what is this? And I looked it up and there was no good Let's Plays. There's none. And then I looked back a couple of years later and that's how I discovered Nico B, who's like one of my other favorite YouTubers now. Um, so it's just interesting because and now I know and I'm experienced the whole series. I just have to play it for myself now. And you do too because I
And
made
that,
you
and
buy
that
it and then you didn't play it either.
I have it. Let me show you. I have it still. I didn't throw it away like I do with other
Why are
things I
you
don't
throwing away
really
games?
because
What the hell?
it's somewhere around here.
Yeah, it's okay. we should probably wrap it up. Yeah, play it, bro.
All in one package.
Yeah, it was called the all-in-one package or the story so far, and then they changed it to Intangram Masterpiece or some shit.
Hmm. But anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed this episode on Crazy Cap Studios, Crazy Cap Podcast, Crazy Cap
Crew.
Snap, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. And don't forget to check out our socials in the description, and also to check out our sponsorship at W using Crazy Cap, or
Cap
not Crazy Cap.
21.
It's Cap 21 in the checkout. Get 10% off.
Also,
And yeah,
check out our Patreon if you want to see these episodes released early, and also check out our Discord.
any final words before we end this episode?
I just realized that I didn't have the fucking logo turned on this whole time. The logo wasn't on. I was like, where's the logo? Oh well, that's okay.
Anyways,
Anyway,
guys, we'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.
bye.